all of these carnivore diet zealots who think carbs are the enemy. You only got to eat high quality nutrition.
They are, Derek. Fact. Demonstrably.
Nutritious red meat. That's all you got to fucking do. I made a video over a year and a half ago now, and I've talked about this many times, even prior to that as well, about free testosterone levels getting destroyed on keto and carnivore diets. And this is...
Yeah, but they don't know, Derek. And neither have we any evidence whatsoever in terms of outcomes long-term, health-wise, in any way, shape or form that could back that up. We have a couple of people who are talking about isolated blood result tests taken on one occasion, on one day, at a certain period of time apart, with no control, no scientific design. These are not experimental studies. There is no proof for what you're saying occurring. And if it was true, then the carnivore diet craze, as you fucking idiots call it, it's been around for 4.5 million years, you fucking idiots, then it would be finished, wouldn't it? For a start, we've been eating that way for 4.5 million years, so our ancestors before our species even evolved would have died out if that was the problem, wouldn't they? They didn't, did they, Derek? No. Again, do you even think for 3 seconds before you open your ridiculous fucking mouth? No.
Something I've noticed through longitudinal data.
Tell you what happens, though. Longitudinal data. What longitudinal data? Cite it. Cite it, Derek. And I'll show you what's wrong with it. Fucking hell. Longitudinal data. There isn't any. Well, there is, actually, if you look at our 4.5 million year history of still being here and not all shriveling up our testes and not all losing our muscle mass and not all falling over dead and not reproducing and stuff. We're still here, aren't we, Derek? What you're saying must be wrong. People who have a testosterone problem on a carnivorous diet, generally, the reason for it is they are not consuming sufficient protein. I covered it in my videos responding to Paul Saladino's ridiculous garbage during the week. As I've said, go and check those out.
From many individuals, especially highly regarded guys in the space,
Well, that's not data. That's anecdotes. Anecdotes, Derek. Anecdotes. No actual science here. No actual proof of anything. I could tell you anecdotes all day if you like, Derek, about all sorts of things. Like, human beings have been around in the current form and very similar forms for 4.5 million years. Eating meat and fat, almost exclusively. Fact. Backed up by actual science. Stable isotope testing. Go and look it up.
Ben Greenfield, Paul Saladino, this fucking guy, I think it was a carnivore Kurt. Some of these individuals that are very forthcoming about putting out their blood work and what.
Yeah, well, that's because these kind of people are so lacking in scientific thinking, training, expertise, and understanding that they think showing their individual N=1 blood test results taken once on one occasion randomly on one day separated by another day by a certain amount of time is able to infer or prove anything. It isn't.
But not, and were prominent proponents of keto diet or carnivore diet, and they would constantly show their blood levels of disproportionately crashed free test levels.
No, don't accept it. Not at all.
With sky-high SHBGs, binding protein levels that are equivalent to that of a fucking...
Why is our species still here then, turd? Idiot. An adult male who has lived their whole life eating nothing but meat and fat, pretty much, that matures physically to child-rearing age and is able to copulate with a female and cause that female to become pregnant, cannot possibly be lacking. If they were, our species would not exist. Derek.
Woman, and it would constantly go overlooked, and they would say dumb shit like, oh, it's like fucking your sensitivity to tests goes up, so you don't need higher free tests, and blah blah blah. When in
blah blah blah. It's all just anecdotes, Derek. None of this is science.
The reality was...
You don't know dick about reality, Derek. I don't think you've seen reality in a long, long time.
That their long-term keto diets and carnivore diets were actually slowly butt-fucking them. Now,
That's just your opinion, and this is ignorant as fuck.
I'm not saying that there's no place for these kind of diet models or that they cannot be implemented in a sustainable way, but there has to be some level of centered, kind of balanced approach taken to them that is considerate of some of these extra factors if you want to optimize health and performance, in my opinion. And it is actually...
Again, your opinion, although what you just said is probably the most robust thing I've heard you say so far, it's still just your opinion, Derek, which is absolutely fucking worthless.
Spurred the emergence of certain threads on even Reddit. Like there was this posted in the...
Oh, right, so the science is litigated on Reddit, is it? Or Facebook, or TikTok, or whatever. No, it isn't.
Keto subreddit, a fucking 2.6 million member subreddit. More plays, more dates. In a recent video says that carbs are necessary for healthy levels of free testosterone.
Well, he's wrong. You're wrong, Derek. It's not required. Not at all. Prove me wrong.
How much of this is true? And in here, there's people being like, no, fuck this guy.
All right, so more anecdotes, more opinions of people. So fucking what? This is not where the science is litigated, you idiot.
He swears, why would you believe this guy? Blah, blah, blah. And like, it's there, dude. It's not hard to understand.
What's not hard to understand is the destitution of your ability to engage with reality, Derek.
That there is an inverse relationship between SHBG and carbohydrate intake.
Nope. Prove me wrong. And even if you are right that an association might exist, that's not necessarily a cause and effect thing, is it? Furthermore, if somebody can maintain perfectly adequate levels of both total and free testosterone by eating a diet consisting of fats and proteins from animals only, that's the end of your argument. Guess what? They can. There are multiple examples of it. We're done here. There is no substance to what you're saying. There is no validity to what you're saying. Your argument has more holes than a holy thing.
When you look at even growth factor production and different kind of interactions with carbohydrate ingestion.
So you're just listing things that exist in a human body, hormones and relationships between hormones and different things of that nature, but you're not actually engaging with any science concerning any of them, Derek. You're just spouting your mindless fucking opinion to the nearly million people who think you're a good source of information for some fucking reason. Front me, son. Live, on camera, anytime you like. Let's fucking go.
And different insulinogenic cascades and whatnot, it starts to make a bit more sense why this is happening in these individuals and what may be a more viable approach.
Speculation.
And we actually see the adaptable and intelligent individuals who are not, completely fucking dead set in their ways to the point of putting out incorrect information.
Paul Saladino is currently putting out false information. Previously he wasn't. Now he is. I think we've covered that.
Going back and correcting themselves and...
No, incorrecting themselves from correct to incorrect.
Putting out what they believe to be right.